Hello, everybody. Kalimera. I'm very happy to be here from Germany today as a chairman of an initiative dealing with the transport of green hydrogen. So that's what you see. I'm a molecule man, so I'm a little bit exotic today. So other than you, I'm not working on the optimization of climate effects of aviation via digital tools. That is what we are doing mainly, as I already learned in the morning. So I'm coming a little bit from the other side. I'm a former politician. I was a member of the German parliament for 14 years. I was hydrogen commissioner of the federal government. So I am dealing, it's better? Yes. So I'm dealing with the molecule side and really, with molecules and not with digital tools. What is the idea? I think not everybody of you is so familiar with synthetic aviation fuels. So I will not go that much through the presentation now because it's a little bit too deep maybe. But I think we will send it out to everybody. Yeah. So what is the idea? The idea is to use the aviation sector for our global decarbonization goals. And also, that's the other idea, as a model for other sectors. And why can we use the aviation sector? Because the willingness to pay a green premium for aviation is especially high in the aviation sector. So the people want to fly, they need to fly. So there's no discussion. That's why we are here together, how we can save the aviation sector. And for sure, that's what you are dealing with. There are no other solutions, let me say, until 2045, than really using existing technologies with synthetic aviation fuels and maybe longer distance flight, intercontinental flights, 2,000 kilometers, 200 people. We may have no solutions behind 2045 as well. But that's more your job to look what is possible also with fuel cells and all the other technologies for shorter distance flights. But for the longer flights, we need synthetic aviation fuels. And how can that be a ramp up for the global hydrogen economy? So, you know, we are working with quotas in the European Union. So what does it mean? At the moment, we have around 50 million tons of kerosene for aviation fuels. So the quota in the European Union is now 6% in 2030. That means 3 million tons of synthetic aviation fuels, at the moment most of them biogenic, and 500,000 tons of aviation fuels on a hydrogen base. So, to have an effect on the global ramp-up of green energy, that is why we need this hydrogen as a molecule to produce synthetic aviation fuels. And at the moment, to give you an idea, we have an annual global production in Europe around 1 million tons, but only synthetic aviation fuels, not hydrogen-based. So we are far away at the moment to reach this goal. But at the end, we have these quotas. We have it also in the UK. We had it in the United States. So, but to reach these goals and to reach these quotas of synthetic aviation fuels, we need a lot of hydrogen production. So I think that is maybe known to you. 15% of synthetic aviation fuels, hydrogen-based, is hydrogen. So we need a hydrogen production, not only in Europe, but globally. Globally, we have around 300 million tons of kerosene, aviation fuel, a year. So, and if you want to reach not only in Europe, but 6% globally in the long run, so we need really a lot of hydrogen-based aviation fuels. And now looking on the shipping sector, that is why it's interesting. On the shipping sector, we have also 300 million tons of shipping fuel a year. And now we have a starting discussion about quotas also in the shipping sector. And that is, you see, it gives planning security for all these companies who invest in hydrogen infrastructure, who invest in production of synthetic aviation fuels, and generate the global production of hydrogen, and therefore also our helping to reach our global climate goals. And in shipping, the situation is now a little bit more complicated than in aviation. In aviation, we have synthetic aviation fuels, for sure. In shipping, we have also other solutions for green molecules. We can use ammonia, or we can use methanol. You may have heard about companies like Maersk. So they started to order engines with methanol, but also can be run with ammonia. And what is now the problem with these two things? So, you know, methanol, like synthetic aviation fuels, is not only based on hydrogen, so it's also based on CO2. And at the moment, we don't have really these huge amount of biogenic CO2 sources that we need to produce these huge amounts of synthetic aviation fuels and also green methanol as we use. So we have to think also about using CO2 emissions from cement plants, for example. That's why we talk about carbon management, not only in Germany, all over Europe. So as we see that we need a lot of CO2 for methanol, there's now a starting discussion about using of ammonia in the shipping sector. And it's not quite clear from a technical point of view. There's maybe some research to do if ammonia is really possible to use in shipping sector as a fuel. So there are some concerns about corrosion, but okay, let's see. But on the other hand, also Maersk is now looking for ammonia. And ammonia is therefore interesting because ammonia, we have a global ammonia production for the fertilizer industry of around 200 million tons a year. So we have a trade of ammonia of 20 million tons of ammonia a year. And the problem why there was a lot of expectation in ammonia was that there was global industry, PDX projects all over the world to produce ammonia, to use ammonia not for fertilizer, but to use ammonia for a carrier, to carry green energy from all over the world via ammonia to Europe, to Japan, to the demand centers, and to crack it there, and to bring it in pipelines, and to bring the cracked hydrogen to steel plants, for example, to cement plants, to gas plants. And this is not working out right now because we don't have the crackers so far, we don't have the pipelines so far, and that is why you can see nearly all of these global PTX projects are stopped at the moment. And that's why we now have another interesting discussion about using ammonia not as a carrier, but using ammonia directly as a shipping fuel. And that's why it was so important to have a discussion in London the last month, it was in spring, about quotas for green energy in the shipping sector. And there was found a solution in April, it has to be confirmed in October, and that will give the ammonia and the green ammonia industry a big push, and also the global ramp up of hydrogen production. And that is why these aviation and also the shipping quotas have really a huge impact on our globally ramp up of a green molecule, global green hydrogen and green ammonia industry. And so in the aviation sector, yeah, I have a lot of slides here. You can see what do we learn, what can we learn for the shipping industry, and just to give you an example to talk about the market, we expect a green hydrogen market in 2050 by 311 billion tons a year. So that is 2050, 34 million tons in 2030. But to be honest, that's a problem for Europe now. It will not happen in